Sorry folks, I'm itchy. Just got a scratch. Sorry. Okay, let's see what we have. We have here. It says, thank you so much. This was from a workplace paper. I don't remember where it comes from. Workplace letter. Just thanking us for the work we did, I think, from last year, because we just got back to work just recently. Let's see how we go. We're just interested in a very tiny part of this letter that we got, this picture from this letter. So I'm actually thinking, it actually looks shithouse enlarged, to be honest. It doesn't look as good as I was hoping. I was hoping to take a section out of there, but it looks really, really, really grainy, really wishy-washy. Maybe can do something more interesting with this. We're going to make it a bit smaller, 300 by 300, and I think it's too light. I think we've made it too light. No, we don't want that. We've made it too light, so we're going to switch to copied paper to get a better result from this. Yeah, that looks better. It looks a bit backgroundy, but it looks better. We're going to use this as a master copy. Well, I'm actually thinking that looks really quite nice, but we're going to move it around. So we're now just going to switch over to 100. We're just going to put this aside. This will just go in the recycle bin. So we're just going to move it around. I'm going to have to take out some of the exposure. It's a bit dark. So we're just going to move it around. So I'm going to take out some of the background. No, we don't. We're not going to. We're just going to lighten it off a bit, or a lot. How we got this? See how that looks. Okay, that looks interesting. Looks a bit backgroundy, but it looks cool. I'm going to use this as the master copy. I'm going to move it around, just like that. So I'm just going to remove some of the background, make it a bit more crisp. So that's what we just did. We're using this one now. So hopefully this will turn up a treat. Don't know if it will. It's not an easy thing to do, movement. This is a real experimental piece, folks. It's a tricky one. Yeah, that looks interesting. It's not as good as I'd like it to be. Wondering if we could do it again. See, it's not the greatest. to make it a more interesting type of movement. Yeah, that looks interesting, but it looks pretty boring. Wondering if we just... I don't know what to do, folks. I don't know what to do with this, folks. I'm going to try and go back a step. This doesn't look too good. We're going to go back to this again. We're going to start again, folks, with this. See what we can do. Wondering if we're just going to make it a still piece. I'll just go back to the original plan because that does look quite nice despite the graininess. I think that's the best part. So we're just going to just line it up like so. And we're just going to drop the dog feeder onto it and see how we go. I don't know if it's going to work, folks. To be honest, this is not a very good piece to work with. That looks a bit too... That's a bit too powerful, but it's nice colours. So, wondering... So we're using that as a reference. We've just enlarged too much of it off. So we're just going to lessen the enlargement. So we're going to make the horizontal 390 and the vertical is going to be 300. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So we got some of that there. Still thinking we could enlarge it maybe less on the vertical. Maybe less on the vertical. The vertical can go smaller again. Maybe not. So we're going to make it 280. Hopefully it's not going to be too small. Not an easy one to do, folks. Yeah, that looks a bit better. We've got more of that piece. I'm wondering what that is, if that's the thank you so much piece, if that's we're getting too close to big. I think we are. I think that's as small as we can go. Maybe just wondering what to do with this, folks. We're going to take this one off. We're going to take this one off and we're going to use this one as our master copy. So we're going to use this as our master copy and we're going to enlarge on the horizontal. We're going to enlarge 160 and on the vertical we're going to enlarge it 190. I do think that's whatever. 140 on the vertical. So we're going to just put this piece on here. So yeah, the movement detour didn't work very well. Okay, out it comes. Yeah, that looks interesting. Just move these other pieces. Still looks a bit minimalist. I do think, wondering if we can just enlarge it less on the horizontal. The horizontal is monstrous. We made it too big. We're going to make it 120. Otherwise, it's just too monstrous. This demo is 11.5 minutes and counting into it. That looks better. We've got that nice little plant bit there that's sticking out, which really looks nice to me. Wondering if this is going to be it. We'll see how we go. Just wondering and just trying to see what intuition's telling me, folks. This is probably not going to be the greatest demo, folks. It's just a piece of shit that I started with. A tiny little scrap of paper. Well, not a scrap, piece that I cut out. Hoping I could do something good with it. It's not an easy one to work with, as you can see. It's been a very difficult demo, this one. But a lot of demos are not easy, folks. Most of my demos do get, or a lot of them do get really curly, a little bit difficult. Trying to make something good out of something that essentially is shit, that was never designed to be reproduced or used as a creative fashion. Just my improvisation, folks. Okay, let's see how that looks. See what our mirrors look like when they're assembled with our non-mirrors. See if we've made this piece of shit look any good. That's that one, and just going to try and line these up as best as I can. Okay, not the greatest, but not the worst. I think now we can call this prolongated demo quits.